This video was produced for the Queensland Vet Development Centre. Case study, simulation, technology, custom-built simulator, Australian Diver Accreditation Scheme. Johan is supervising 3 divers when, for the first time, the cabin in which he is working starts to fill with smoke. In a few minutes, he could be overcome by it. Instead, he puts on a mask and continues to supervise the dive, bringing the divers up to safety. Fortunately, this isn't taking place several kilometres offshore on an oil rig. Instead, an assessor in the next compartment of the training simulator is watching and recording Johan's performance, ready to give him feedback and advice if necessary. Why simulation-based assessment?
Offshore supervisors require between 200 and 300 hours of workplace experience, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in fact it is, because it's very difficult for people to get offshore. It's expensive and they have to go out by helicopter, they take up a bed, and so the only way they can get this experience is to work as a deckhand or something similar and then do an hour or 2 on the panel every day if the supervisor allows them to do that. The International Marine Contractors Association has set a level of 30% of their current required workplace experience hours as being allowable in the simulator. So that means for an offshore air supervisor, they can replace around 60 hours, and for an offshore bell supervisor or saturation diving supervisor, they can replace just over 90 hours. So it's quite a lot.
Overall assessment strategy. The simulation is just one part of the overall assessment strategy. Before being assessed in the simulator, learners must undertake a series of timed induction training and assessments to orientate them to the environment. These include underpinning literacy and numeracy tests and simulator induction and online assessment. This ensures learners are competent and confident using the simulator before undertaking the assessment tasks. When using the simulator, assessment takes place by direct observation using a comprehensive assessment instrument which an observer-assessor has to fill in. Trainees are also peer assessed when using the simulator. Tools and technologies. The simulator is a world first, developed by ADAS with a highly accurate physics engine. All simulator assessment is recorded by video and audio, as well as the simulator itself recording key performance parameters. In addition to the simulator, ADAS uses the Moodle learning management system and a series of online and paper-based quizzes to test underpinning skills and knowledge. We can see the robust use of technology during the assessment process, particularly with the evidence gathering and student support stages. Lessons learned. In developing their own simulator, the cost was high for ADAS, and so is the ongoing support and development. As well, the instructor-to-learner ratio is very low due to the need to monitor trainees. The cost of all this flows on to the learners, as few employers are willing to pay the onshore training of this largely contractor-based pool of workers. However, the benefits are obvious.
The enormous benefits are that you can put people through a range of emergency situations that they couldn't possibly do in a real-life situation. Offshore operations are inherently very risky, and we do not put people into a risky situation purely for training purposes. So there are many emergency situations that we simply can't train and assess for in a real-life operation.
As well, not all supervisors in the field are trained assessors, So trainees get the benefit of competency-based training with feedback that's immediate and contextual. Plus, all the simulations and scenarios are delivered in the same way for all learners. Principles of assessment and rules of evidence. The assessment strategy is designed to meet the principles of assessment. It is fair and flexible because learners have the ability to practice prior to assessment, and the simulator can be programmed to suit various abilities, accents and languages. Pre-programmed scenarios ensure assessment is reliable, and the strong industry focus ensures the assessments are valid. The evidence gathered by the simulator also meets the rules of evidence. The evidence is valid due to the strong connection ADAS has with industry. The learner is present for most assessment, ensuring authenticity, and as the evidence is collected in real time, the currency is assured. As for the sufficiency, there are a range of assessment tools with evidence collected over a period of time. We'll close with some advice from Bronwyn Campbell of Active Learning Partners for others considering simulation-based assessment.
I think in terms of simulation, don't go necessarily just for the big, high impact, high consequence type of outcome. Also look at the normal aspects of the job that make someone a good supervisor or whatever it is that you're training them to be, because that in the end will have a bigger overall impact than just focusing on major problems.
Thanks to Bronwyn, Active Learning Partners and the Australian Dive Accreditation Scheme for their help with this case study. Although this simulation case study involves a highly sophisticated, custom-built simulator, at its heart are real-world, messy problems that require learners to apply and demonstrate knowledge and skills. Less expensive options such as immersive games, virtual worlds, branched learning objects, and even web conferencing tools can also create rich opportunities for problem-solving and authentic assessment. We invite you to explore a range of simulation options and the other types of eAssessment you can use. This case study video is one of 5 illustrating the use of eAssessment produced for the Queensland Vet Development Centre. The others are social and collaborative assessment, audio assessment, visual assessment, and text assessment. To get the most out of your learning experience, explore the website located at evet.qld.edu.au. There you can watch the other case study videos, download more detailed information about this and the other case studies, watch the Advancing Practice series videos introducing the various types of assessment, and share your insights and questions with other learners in the discussion area.